to the cloud. So it's going from now. So Veronica,
okay.
It's all yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hold on. Slideshow. Okay. Well, welcome. Good morning. As Ellen mentioned, this is actually a webinar a workshop that I give. Those 5 segments, if you're staying with me for the entire day, really make up a workshop that I give in 2 full days. So you're going to get a lot of information, and I will actually be covering everything that I cover in that 2-day workshop. So bear with me, because there's a lot to learn in e-commerce, and I assume that everybody is probably at a little bit of a different level. Because I cover everything, I think everybody gets something out of this. So this first webinar this morning, I'm going to be talking about creating a sitemap for your store and writing marketing copy. So when you talk about writing marketing copy, you really have to start from the beginning, and I will do that. So I want to give a quick introduction. I'm going to slow down a little bit because I feel like I have so much to talk about that, I don't want to go too fast here, talk too fast. I'm Veronica Monell. I'm the owner of Jumpstart Now. We are an online marketing boutique. I'm a NorCal SBDC regional advisor and the e-commerce expert of the team. I've been 15 years in video gaming. That is actually how I got into e-commerce. I built 3 different e-commerce businesses and on an e-commerce platform, and many more on digital platforms. So I learned e-commerce actually from the ground up when e-commerce was just starting. So I have 20 years of e-commerce experience and 20 years of digital marketing. Digital marketing, obviously very important when you have an e-commerce store. Because people cannot find you any other way, right? They have to find you online. That's your online business. Through the SBDC, I have worked with over 400 different businesses in business, e-commerce, and marketing strategies. At the end of the presentation, at the end of every single presentation, I'm going to be sharing an email address where you can also reach me if you have very specific questions about your business. And we will also be sharing a Google form that I've put together, a quick questionnaire, and I would like to hear from you where you are in the business and how I can help you. So let's jump right in. Before you can write your marketing copy, you have to focus your business. So I'm going to go through these slides rather fast because I want to take more time on how to write your copy. However, it is really important that you focus your business so you know what to say. The reason why I'm teaching this is most of my clients, when they get started with their e-commerce page, with their e-commerce site, they don't know what to write, right? That is like the most fundamental, because we only have 4 seconds to tell somebody who we are and what we sell and why they should care doing business with us. So to focus your business, you have to answer, or you should try to answer questions. Where you want to be, what do we do, why do we do it, how do we do it, for whom, what is our value, and what makes us different. So in essence, you have to be able to really know what your business is all about. And this sounds, for some people, like, well, I sell, I sell clothing, women's clothing. Well, there's a lot of competition. So you have to figure out who you are among all that competition. And that's what I mean by focusing your business. Your vision statement. A lot of you probably have heard about how to write a vision and a mission statement. So I'm not going to go really far into this, but you should know as a business, always, it doesn't matter if you're e-commerce or any other business, what your vision is. Like, where do you aim to be? Some of us are visionary, some of them are missionary. I'm more of a mission person than a vision person. That still means that you should think about what your vision could be. And I'm going to give some examples. So here are some really good examples. The Alzheimer's Association, a world without Alzheimer's disease. That's their vision. IKEA, create a better everyday life for many people. And IKEA, as you know, they also have a great e-commerce store. Microsoft, when they got started, a computer on every desk in every home. So think about what the vision is for your business, for your e-commerce business. So at this point, I would ask you to write a vision statement. We don't have time to do that. But if you have something, write it down. If you have any ideas, write it down as I go through these slides. The mission statement for your e-commerce store is even more important because you need to tell everybody your mission so they can make a decision if they want to buy from you, right? So, sorry, I'm gonna have to minimize this. So a mission statement is about how you're gonna get there. And we're gonna be using a mission statement within writing for marketing because there is an internal and an external mission statement. So it talks about, you know, how you relate, what do you do for your clients and your customers? What's your value? What is the broader goal? Like, what are you trying, like, what is the problem that you're trying to give solutions for? And so while we write, I have a mission statement for my business, while we write a mission statement for our businesses internally, we're gonna also formulate that for our customers on our e-commerce store. Because remember, like, e-commerce is not only a catalog of products. You know, e-commerce is anything where money is transacted online. You could be selling anything from tea to yoga classes, to tutorials, to videos, to you know, products, services. So anything that you transact online is really considered in e-commerce. And most important, always is the answer to the question, what makes us different? Because it's a crowded world out there in e-commerce, online, although it's not saturated by any means, but it's definitely speeding up. And that's also the reason why you're here, I assume, because a lot of these businesses are going online. They have to communicate online and sell online. And I don't think that will actually, I think that will continue on. We're going to see, this has just accelerated the e-commerce world. So some powerful mission statements. Amazon. I'm a big fan, and you may, you know, they can be controversial at times. At least that's how, you know, we get to see them. But they do what I teach today, e-commerce. They do that so well. And I look at Amazon all the time, what they're doing, because they, you know, they have perfected some things, and they're also trailblazers in a lot of these areas. to be Earth's most customer-centric company, where customers can find and discover anything they might want to buy online, and endeavors to offer its customers the lowest possible price. That's pretty powerful. Kickstarter, if anybody knows Kickstarter, it's a fundraising platform to help bring creative projects to life. Uber is evolving the way the world moves. That's no matter what if you use Uber or not, that's definitely what has been happening. By seamlessly connecting riders to drivers through our apps, we make cities more accessible, open more possibilities for riders, and more business for drivers. So these are really powerful mission statements. Yeah, so you should write your mission statement. And this is something that you will also, in a different format, put on your e-commerce site. So it should be short, actionable, present tense. Differentiator. So this is something that I teach all the time. If you think you are not different from anybody, that can never be true. So everybody brings something to their business that is different. You have to figure out what that is. And the differentiator is important because you need to be telling people that it's like in the marketing world, it's the difference between telling many people broad information or telling a specific audience a very focused message. And that's what we want to do. That's how we stand out online. What helps my clients often is to answer the question, what is your strength? How are you different again? Why does your customer care? And starting with your strength gets you to think about how you're different. Like, what is it that, or even what is it that you do differently than your competition? A lot of people go into business because they want to do something better or they want to do something different. So remind yourself of that. Why are you getting into this e-commerce space? What can you bring that your competition might not? Your business name. If you have not started yet and you don't have a business name, obviously that is for a lot of people a stumbling block. Like, what am I going to call this business? So I have a theory behind that that's helped my clients and it's helped myself. So I look at business names like in two different ways. It's either what you do or it's a creative name, right? So if you, let's say you're a company who is in real estate, right? So you may want to call your business so-and-so real estate agency, or, realtors. It tells exactly what you do. Or you come up with, a very creative name that implies what you do or doesn't. Like, for example, Apple, right? If you didn't know what they did, you wouldn't know what Apple is, but we all know Apple. It's a brand. So that's what I mean about the differences. Ellen, are there any questions that before I continue on?
Nothing has come in the Q&A.
Okay.
So, well, one question did go in the Q&A, but it was a process question, I would say.
Okay.
And but while I've got you, Blake, we've got a copy of your deck, haven't we? So we will be sharing that at the end of this, as part of the follow-up to the whole thing. So
yes. Definitely. So I'm going to talk about ideal customer, and this is important because you're going to be like your marketing message is going to be written for your ideal customer. And what that means is if you think about your ideal customer and you're writing a marketing message, you can think about, would my ideal customer be enticed to purchase my product or service if they read this marketing message? That is a great way of looking at that, because you might actually say, well, no, my ideal customer wouldn't. I wouldn't even, like, he wouldn't find that interesting, or he wouldn't, like, he wouldn't make the purchase based on that. So then you need to figure out how to talk to your customer. And that's where the marketing writing comes in. And it's really connecting with your customer. Like, think about like the brands that you connect with. Like, we all like some brand or another. And like, why do you like them? Why are they evoking some emotion in you? So Ellen, can we talk about can we have the first poll question?
Yes, the one about online ads.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that one is appropriate right now.
All right, so I'm going to launch that poll. Hopefully everyone should see that poll springing up in front of them. You probably won't, Veronica, because you're a panelist. But we are seeing people respond. Yep, so we're seeing, or you could maybe,
okay.
60 people who could vote. We've seen, lots of people are voting.
Nice.
We're seeing lots and lots of votes. Yay. Interesting selection.
Nice.
It's not surprising that so far no one's selected the bottom one, the I am not online, because I'm not really sure they could be attending this if they were.
No, right.
So that's a thought for us when we consider if we ever rerun this, we might want to swap that one out for something else.
Well, this is more of an answer. Like, I'm not on social media. I'm not looking at ads, right?
Yeah.
So we can reword this answer, but this is really meaning that, I'm really not doing a lot online, so I don't see any online ads.
Okay. So we got most people, over 80% of the people have voted. I'm going to give you a few more seconds if you haven't had a chance to do that yet. 3, 2, 1. Okay, can I close off the poll? And now I'm going to share the results so everyone can see it. So what do people say? Interesting numbers.
Yes. Okay. Nice. And I would have been the one saying, like, I love cool ads.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because I look at everything from the marketing standpoint.
So from the purpose of the recording, just so people know, because this won't show up on the recording, to answer the question, do you pay attention to online ads? 16% said no, they don't. 30% no said no, I don't like ads. 40% said yes. And 14%, which I assume included Veronica, were yes, I love cool ads. So, okay.
All right. So this looks like a lot of questions, and it is. Actually, coming up with your ideal client is often not quite as easy as it sounds, because you want to answer a lot of questions about that person. And then you might say, like, well, how do I know that person does this or that? And it's really about you creating a persona. That's what this is. Creating a real persona. I have clients who actually give their ideal clients names, and then they refer back to it. So, the gender can be 50-50, it can be 30-70, then you go, obviously, like, if you wanted to give your ideal client or customer a name, you can make it, anything. So, but it helps you focus that message again. That is the most important part about marketing writing. So everything from age, gender, marital status, level of education, annual income, children, what do they care? So some of them are really, really important. For example, worries that keeps them up at night. that's relating to your offer. Like, what is it that what solution are they looking for? And then, like, where do they look for information? Right? Like it is difficult to understand like how to reach them and how to communicate them if you don't know how they get information. And also, like, have they already tried something else and it didn't work for them? And that's why they're open to coming to you and purchasing your product or service. So we're going to be sharing this, and then you can go through the exercise. So again, who is your ideal customer? And I've done this for my business. And actually, I've done this a few times. So this also means that your ideal customer could change. Sometimes you have to figure out, like when you start your business and you see what's working, what's not, and who is really coming to buy your product. I've had clients where they thought they knew their ideal customer, but then their ideal customer wasn't purchasing the product. So they had two choices. Either they adjust the product and the pricing and the messaging to their ideal customer, or they revisit who their ideal customer truly is. Because if there's a disconnect, you're going to see that your purchases are not going to be where you want them to be. But when you connect the two, it's a beautiful thing, and you can almost see it immediately. You can see the change. So here's where we're going to start with the writing of the web copy. So writing for marketing is very different than writing for other purposes, because we don't always have to follow grammar rules. Often you see in web copy that sentence start with and, that's something with a proposition, or they're fragments. Think about, like, since many of you love ads, like I do, think about Apple. They do a lot of these like 1-2 word sentences instead of fragments with a period. So that is okay. You have to just figure out how to make it so that it makes sense, obviously. Because a lot of our grammar rules around that, we follow grammar rules so the sentence makes sense. But yeah, like, think outside the box. That's okay. It's not about winning an essay competition, but we're winning customers and clients. That's what we're doing. Yeah, so what should you know about writing web copy, and not content? So I want to differentiate between the two. When I mean content, it's writing articles and blogs and things like that. Copy can be a tagline. We're going to talk about that. It can be like a 2-sentence description of your business. It can be product copy. So you have to consider that people don't read a lot on a website. And think about like how you become more conscious of how you actually read web copy when you go to a website. Do you read everything? Do you skim through things? Do you read really just what's at the top of the page? Do you ever scroll down? And if you scroll down, how do you make a decision on what to read or not? Keep in mind that you might not be your ideal client. For people who are their ideal clients as well, that they're selling to people like them, they sometimes have an advantage because they would be like their ideal customer, right? So they could test some of this out. Most of us are not. So you have to put yourself in their shoes. Would your ideal customer, what would they be reading on your site? And a website and an e-commerce site In this instant, it's the same. The e-commerce part is really the checking out of product and services and paying for them online. Know your audience and how to talk to them. That's why we went through that exercise before, and you should do that when you have some time. People want to find information quickly. And I say that and it sounds like that's common sense, right? But often what you see on websites, or what I've experienced with my clients, is that they're trying to tell people, their customers, a lot upfront, instead of giving them enough information that they can make a decision, if they need more information, to give them more information elsewhere. So you have to think about the mind of your client. Is your client going to be reading like pages and pages of information? Maybe not. Or give them a chance to say, like, this is all the information I need to make a decision on the purchase. If they're 50-50, you might need to give them more information. So this is going to become more clear as you're building your site and as you're thinking about, like, is this too much information? Or like, am I hiding the most important information? I've seen this before, where, we almost start like an essay and then the conclusion is in the end. When you write marketing copy, the conclusion needs to be at the top. Like, what is the most important piece of information that you need to give your client and customer to make that decision, and then go from there. Write clear and precise copy. And again, that has a lot to do with who you are, who your clients are. In my business, I want to tell people exactly and as clearly as possible, like, what I do. But that is because I know my ideal client. My ideal client needs to have that information that way. So, and you should always answer certain questions like who, why, what, right? That's very marketing writing 101. Does anybody have any questions here?
There's nothing outstanding. Oh, hang on, we do have one.
Okay.
How can I find out where my ideal customer is searching for information?
So if you know your ideal customer, right, then you need to obviously learn all the different platforms that are out there that your customer could be going to. Like, your ideal client could be somebody who loves Facebook groups. So they're going to be more likely on Facebook. Maybe they don't like social media. Maybe they're only on Google. Maybe they search from their desktop or their laptop. You have to put yourself in it. And I understand that it sounds like a question that is difficult to answer. You obviously need to have some background in online marketing, and we actually have a segment about that today. I'm not going to talk about every single platform that's out there, but I'm going to give you like a basic overview. Like, for example, if you're business to business, your ideal client may be on LinkedIn, right? Let's say you are a business that is local and you usually depend on referrals. Maybe it's Nextdoor. So you have to think about that this way, like, and having the question, like, where do they find information? Like, do they read articles? If they read articles, you're going to want to write articles and distribute the articles online. There's different ways of doing that and different places to distribute your article, also based on your client. So, but I can help with that. If you want to email me at the end of this, there's an email. Tell me what your business is, and I can help you figure out where they live. So what is a tagline, and why do we need one? So the tagline is the information that you get when you come to a site. And this is the first that you see. You usually see You can also call it like an ad, like an ad line, right? Like it's just really to the point. And since people, like we see the behavior of people online, people make a decision. I know this is sounding really fast, but that's what we do. Um, people make a decision to stay on your site in 4 seconds. So think about what the tagline should be. Don't hold anything back on the tagline. Don't make it too general. Make it very precise. So when they go and to your website and they look at that tagline, they're like, oh, I've come to the right place. And now they're going to look for more. So you catch the user's attention, you evoke emotions. You know, if you're looking, think about when you're looking for a solution online. You go to several websites and it's like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. That's not what I was looking for. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If that was actually the right place for you to look, then whoever owns that website and that e-commerce store didn't do their job to talk to you. Be short, precise, clear goes a long way. Again, answer what the benefits are. So one of my tips is when you have several pages on the site, you don't have to have the same tagline on every page. Your tagline also doesn't need to be contact us. It actually can be a different tagline. So use your pages to tell your customer or client wherever they come through. You know, they could be coming to a product page. They could be coming to your About Us page. So make sure that you use taglines efficiently. Again, it is your business. You get to do like what is best for you and for you to close the deal. So here are some real taglines. The first one is actually mine, ours, Jumpstart Now. Imagine the possibilities of a forward-thinking marketing strategy. I'm a big fan of Apple's taglines because they're very precise. iPhone 11 Pro, Pro camera, Pro display, Pro performance. Even if I don't know what the functionalities are that are coming up in that iPhone 11, I want it. It's Pro everything, right? So, I know you're laughing. I'm a big Apple fan, so it evokes emotion in me. It's like, oh, I gotta have that. Like, I don't even need to know more. I want everything Pro. Salesforce. If anybody knows Salesforce, it's a CRM. A lot of times used for sales teams. Connect to your customers in a whole new way with the world's #1 CRM platform. Right? Like if you're looking for a CRM and you're in sales, it's like, wow, I want to connect with my customers in a whole new way. That's a very powerful tagline. Adobe Stock, that's something that we use for stock images. Find the best stock assets for your next creative project. I mean, you can't be more clear. We trust Adobe. Headspace, don't know everybody knows about Headspace. I use it, it's a meditation app. Your guide to health and happiness, right? If you are looking for a meditation app and they're gonna tell you this is the guide to health and happiness, yeah, I think I'm just about sold, right? That's what I want, health and happiness. So yeah, take time to write your tagline. This is going to be really important if you are, launching your e-commerce store after today. Write your tagline. And honestly, this is the online world. We can always change things. Nothing is printed, right? We have to throw out, you change your mind on your tagline, you have to throw out, 1,000 business cards. That's not how this works. You can actually write a tagline, put a tagline up, and change your mind on that tagline. I think in my business, I've been in business with my own small business for about 5 years. I cannot even tell you how often I change my tagline. And I know when I outgrow my tagline. So don't worry too much about it. Put it up. And then, as you get into business and you understand your business and your clients better, you can always change that tagline. It's a click of a button. Business description. And this is what I was talking about earlier, which is the mission statement that is external. 2 lines, maybe 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. It's at the top of the page. And it tells people when your tagline catches their attention, the next thing they will be reading is that business description. Who are you? Think about this like a puzzle. You want to keep these potential customers and clients on your page. You want them to get to your products and services. So the next thing that they're going to make a decision on is if they read your external mission statement. Oh, who are they? Oh, I want to do business with them because they're different from, others. Like they are the right fit for me. That's what you want to tell them. So if you don't yet have a e-commerce store, I would suggest for you to play around. And even if you want to stay on that platform, to start a Shopify store. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's a very much a beginner's platform. They have I believe it's a 10 or 14-day free trial. They changed that. They may have even given more time now. So it doesn't cost you anything. You don't even need to put your credit card down. And they have these templates. So these are themes. So themes in the online world are really pre-designed templates where if you could find something, like here, you could put your tagline right in here, right? So you can start seeing what this would look like. So if you go to themes.shopify.com, you can pick a free theme and start your trial. I am not selling Shopify by any means. Everybody needs to have, there are different platforms out there. But I have many clients who actually get comfortable with an e-commerce by using Shopify. I have a client, he's an SBDC client. He's a young man. He started with me when he was 15. He has a dropship business and he started on Shopify. That's how he learned. Like everything that I'm teaching today, he was able to learn through Shopify. For our e-commerce clients, we use WooCommerce, which is a WordPress e-commerce solution. There's Magento, which is much more of a developer's platform. So there's many different ones and more are coming. I have a client that actually attended one of my in-person workshops, and she is using BigCommerce and she really likes it. So by no means is this a Shopify pitch, but it's great to try. So take advantage of it. If you're unsure, take advantage of it. And you can always switch to something else. Creating a sitemap.
Veronica, before we had a couple of things come into the Q&A.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So around the concept of taglines, a couple of questions are there any small business taglines examples of small business taglines you like? And another question about why you should keep changing your tagline, which is okay. So those are the 2 questions around taglines.
Yeah, and so yeah, these are big ones. I'm a small business, so I like my tagline. So I gave this as an example because also small business can have really nice, powerful taglines. My business is a marketing agency, and I consider us forward thinkers. I come from video gaming. It's a very forward thinking industry. So my mindset has always been forward thinking. And my ideal customers, it's all about the possibilities, right? They all want to grow their business. They want to grow maybe to the next million or the first million. So imagining the possibilities of a forward-thinking marketing strategy would evoke emotions in my ideal clients. Why you would change your tagline? I believe that everything is in flux. That when we start a business, or even when we're in the middle of the business, this imagine the possibilities is actually a tagline that we chose probably maybe like 9 months ago. So obviously we had other taglines before. And it's also because it's becoming more clear who our ideal customer is. We've had many customers over the years. But it's like evolving. Okay. So you change the tagline because your business is evolving. We should always look at my point of view, like the way I do business and the way I live my life is looking at opportunities. So when you look at opportunities, things are in flux. So you should always rethink that. Again, like, you might find out, like, just like some of my clients that found out that their ideal client wasn't their ideal client. So they actually did the whole persona thing, right? That exercise, and then they changed their taglines. Okay. So, yeah.
And then, so where would you show your tagline on your online store?
So it should be, oh yeah. So here, for example, I don't know if people can see my cursor, probably not. Yeah, like on both of these themes, you see that white bolded font. That is your tagline. Put your tagline there. Okay. Yeah. So it's what we call the top fold of a website is what you see before you scroll down. That's where your tagline should be.
Okay. Yeah. Couple more questions. I really one comes back a little bit to the question of business name. So if you're a professional, should you use your name or a creative business name?
It really depends. So I have clients who are, who are sole entrepreneurs, like professionals. Some actually have a fictitious name. Some use their own name.
Yeah, I'm always there's a guy in my training profession. His first name is Larry and his second name is Straining. So his business is called Larry's Straining. And so I mean that's the perfect example. I don't think he could have possibly gone for any other type of professional.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I understand the difference there.
Yeah.
And then a question around Shopify. Okay. From Brian, do you see people moving away from Shopify when they get more experience? And why do you use WooCommerce instead of Shopify? Is there more customization functionality with other platforms?
So yes, I think it's also how you evolve your business. So when I first started my own business, I actually was on Squarespace. And then we moved to WordPress. So now our clients are on WordPress and we build e-commerce sites and they're on WordPress. So on Shopify, Shopify is its own environment. There's only so much customization that they will allow, which makes sense, right? Because it is a closed environment and they control that environment. And that's controlling, I'm not meaning this in a negative way, actually. They have a lot of stuff figured out for you that you don't have to worry about. They do that. But what it does is it doesn't give you that customization that you might need or want. But for a beginning business, they do so many things right. And they give you so many tools to learn And Squarespace does too. Like they have also a e-commerce part, but they're more of a web development platform. But if you, for example, we're going to talk about search engine optimization at one point today. If you want to, there's certain search engine optimization puzzle pieces that you would want to include in your site that Shopify does not give you control over because they've templated that for everybody. So yeah, it's like you can't move your store anywhere, right? Like our WordPress stores can be moved to other platforms, to other hosting sites. They can be more customized. You could change your shopping experience with another plugin. So you don't have that on Shopify, but they give you the best of theirs. Magento is more of a developer's platform. So it's almost like the sky's the limit. Everything is coded. They do work with some themes, but there could be some possibilities that you're wanting into in a e-commerce store that you're not getting either on WooCommerce or in Shopify. But Magento, if you have a developer, they can build that for you.
It's like the difference between going into an IKEA store, I know how much of an IKEA fan you are, and selecting one of their sets of table legs and one of their tops that will go together to give you a table, versus going to a cabinet maker who's going to custom build you a table you want exactly the way you want it. Yeah, one's quick, one's easy, one's exactly what you want.
I think you know when you outgrow Shopify, when there's something that you know you need to do on your website and you can't do it.
I just want to remind you have 5 minutes before the end of this first session. So
yes, I know. So creating a sitemap is very important because it shows you the organization of your site. So before we build websites, we want to know like how many pages does it have, right? What is on those different pages? So displaying the organization of your website gives you kind of a visual on how you want to build the site and what should be on these pages. I'm going to show a visual map here in a second. I use it all the time. Like we're using it currently. That's like what I'm teaching you here for our clients. You know, we show them, it's like, here's the home page. There's going to be a tagline. There's a banner image. There's a description. Next, we're going to have a call to action. Then we have your service or products, and we say who you are, why them. Maybe there's testimonials. Then we have an About Us page. So it helps the users and the crawlers, meaning Google crawls through the different sites of the web, and they will see your sitemap. They're like, oh, there's a home page, and then there is a product page. Are there really products on? Oh, there's products on that page. So legitimate, right? It improves search engine optimization because it is a well organized. Every page always has keywords, and it's like thinking through all the stuff, all the different things. And also, where do I still need marketing copy, right? It's like, oh, I need to say products that, you know, I need to talk about this service. Oh, I don't have marketing copy for that. I should be writing something, right? It is really like, it's when you're writing an essay and you have all these, like you get organized first. So you need to also understand all the functionalities. Like, what do you need? Do you want to have a chat box on your site? Should they be uploading? Should your customers be uploading assets? Is there a form you want them to fill out? Should they make appointments? Is there like a calendar? All kinds of different functionalities. And could also be store functionalities. I don't want every customer to see everything. Yeah, organizing your written content, multimedia. The flow of the website is really important when it comes to e-commerce. Where do they come in? Can they find the checkout, right? Like, where's the checkout? Where's the buy now button? This would all be flushed out on the website. And when you know your analytics, you can also make changes to that. So it's the framework of your site. And so this one is, I don't use the visual sitemap. I use it in a Google Doc, but I do the same thing, right? The project is the website. So here's my client's website. Here's home. What do I have on home? Like I said, there's a banner image. You saw that on those Shopify themes. There's a tagline. You already wrote the tagline. What's the call to action? Call to action meaning, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to ask you for a quote? Make an appointment that they pay for? Yeah, your mission description. We talked about that. That's going to be on the homepage. Your services and products. Talking about who you are. How are you different? Your differentiator. Do you need an About Us page? Most companies do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to put everything on the homepage. Do you have a blog? Then you should put that on the sitemap. Your store. Do you have a support page? I have clients who have major support pages because there's certain things that their customers need to do so the product gets done, right? Maybe they need to upload creatives or images, right? Like, how do you want to handle that? Like, do you contact us? Do you give them an email? Do you get a phone number? Chat is really, really popular. So it's organizing all the different moving parts on the site. And if, this sounds probably overwhelming, like when you're new to this, because like, oh, I thought I'm just going to have a store and there's products. But the e-commerce is not just a store. It's all about your brand. It's all about who you are as a business and what you're going to do. So for example, I have clients, they also do business with the government. They have a government page. I have clients who have categories of products where each category has its own page. So you would put that here. You would have to, you think through all the moving pieces, like, okay, so I got a store. So do I have product page? Like I have product categories. How do I best display them? Should I put everything on one page? Should I have different pages? Right? Like, how do I explain my customers, like all the different things they can buy?
So Veronica, it's coming up to 10 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock.
Yes. And that was actually also the end of
the day. Mike, that's fantastic timing. Do you want me to quickly launch that last poll? Let me keep it open to people. Let's see where people are at, if they feel they're ready to do this or not. So there's a quick poll up there. So are people ready to build their own sitemaps yet? We're seeing a whole bunch of people. Some people are getting there. In fact, we had a question come through the chat. Just a reminder to everyone, please use the Q&A for your questions. We probably won't notice them in the chat. I happen to have noticed this one because I just glanced at it. But somebody actually asked, how do they write it? So you covered that to a little bit. And if they need a few more questions, well, maybe they could reach out using the information that's on the screen, and they could get to you later. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few more seconds for anyone who hasn't filled in the poll yet. And then we're going to end the poll. Okay, well, more than half the folks have got it. What a fantastic teacher you are, Veronica.
Nice. Woohoo!
58% have answered, I've got it. 17% still have questions. 23% are unsure, and there's one no way in there.
That happens. But we'll get you there. We'll get you there.
So remember this, you can always sign up for Locals for Services from your local SBDC. Ask for e-commerce help, and the chances are that we'll be putting you through to Veronica, who is our e-commerce expert.
So I have an email address, ecommerce@jumpstart-now.com. And then the registration link has changed, Ellen. Can you put that in chat?
Yeah, this is is that the Rebrandly one? Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes.
Is that one? Is that Jumpstart, or is that
That must be
SPDC?
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So all panelists and attendees. I should put that in there. Okay. So we're going to keep this meeting open, but nobody's going to be awake in there. I'm going to leave. Preet's kind of going to run it because I've got to run off and do another webinar in a minute. But everyone gets to take a 30-minute break. And we'll be back. Oh, let me just share those results so everyone can see them briefly. Yeah, everyone gets to have a 30-minute break, and
nice. Yeah,
we'll
nice results. Yay.
And a couple of questions I've seen. So that, people want to know about the recording. The recording, in fact, that's a great idea. Let me stop this recording right now so we have a clean break between recordings.